my God. Don't forget to subscribe.
Owulira omuntu bweyagala omusakata oluyi kati kiki mukwano nze nywa amazzi n'otamiira.
Hi guys, we are back. Not to Whispers. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Not to Whispers, over on TikTok. All of those short clips that were inspiring. Again, TikTok, all of the whole episode. Not to Whispers, but both them. Zamwe ze mukomentinga tutekayo post oba netugenda ku different social media platforms netujayo post netuzetaano netulaba bye muba mwogera. My name is Florah and I'm here with Shibrah anywedde amazzi n'atamiira
agamba bwedda netereza enviiri yena ndi byange naye wakwasibadde sitaniridde bulungi naye temubifaako bino bad hair days naye wakwantera okubeera wali ku glam and style nga mbagamba kino simanyi tufunayo ka cape tufunayo ka
opposite
oluusi nzuuka naye nga nzuukidde on the wrong side of the bed era yasalawo.
So today we are going to talk about what's the worst cheating story you've ever had. It might not be yours, but okay, it might be yours, but omanyi abantu abasinga babeera ne bajja ne batunyumiza mumembe nange nalina mukwano gwange nakumbe so osobola okwenyumyako naye ng'onyumiza ya mukwano gwo ye
abaana batunyumize.
My biological mom's best friend was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. We moved her husband and her daughter in. My mom slept with her husband and got pregnant. My biological mom's best friend.
My biological
mom's best friend was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. We moved her husband and her daughter in. Like Baba leta mu nyumba yawe. My mom slept with her husband and got pregnant.
The husband of the best.
I think. With her husband and got pregnant, so they put her in a nursing home to die all alone, just so they wouldn't have to deal with the consequences. Wow. She was hours away as well, so her daughter was 10 at that time, was unable to visit her. She died alone because she went to her best friend for help. I don't speak to my biological mom anymore. After her friend's death, she showed off her brand new car with the life insurance money.
Wow.
She married her husband's best friend.
Yeah.
At the time, her dead best friend also had a 19-year-old daughter who was homeless with a toddler. I felt so sick sitting in the car listening to her brag about how nice it was and how she finally got the car she deserves.
Wow, in short, when you're in a best friend we nga alina lung cancer.
Yalina mama we alina best friend.
Yes. Kati mami we naye bakanibba wa best friend we. Ng'ali bamba alina mukupa ne batamujjanjaba kakyali kibi nnyo. Okay, andirinzeeko olina then atwala bulungi omusajja.
Okay. Firefighter asked another firefighter to cover his shift by working for him. He then went and had sex with his wife at him.
What a wow.
Yeah.
He was bright.
Oh, wow.
Oli yali ku mulimu nga akola night shift. Ng'oli n'amugamba mwana mutuwoganira mukendezeeko kumbe oli ali ku mulimu nga bebi yali asombye.
Sorry.
Wow.
One of my wife's cousins died of cancer after a 30-year marriage. When her husband was clearing out her home office, he found a box with diaries, receipts, letters, hotel keys, etc., detailing the hundreds of times she cheated on him with random guys throughout their whole marriage, going so far as to take their daughters to meetups and gaslighting them about what was happening. So the daughters knew. Why
would you keep such things?
No.
By the way,
I think she kept them, maybe knowing bali bizuula ng'afudde and they are not going to do anything about it. Naye ne yeerabira nti she used to take the daughters to see these men kati ba abaana aba abalese mu kifaananyi ki.
Abaana banga baali bategeera nga bakimanyi nabo basiru oba maybe baali bamanyi dadi waabwe alina empisa embi oba tatfitting bulungi their mom but ate okubireka munna ofuna heartbreak nga tomubuuze tomuzuukuse mu grave nomugamba sooka ojja ombuulire.
My dad cheated on my mom with my best friend's mom, who was also married.
Wow.
I was a teenager at the time and unfortunately found out before my mom did. Guess who had to tell her? My dad told me I owed it to him to not say anything. The massive amount of guilt I dealt with for outing him and destroying my mom's life haunted me for years. Again, another mama.
Naye kati kankubuuze bw'osanga okay I'm giving an example you dad wo n'omusanga nga cheatinga ku mami we omugamba tomugamba nze nange it depends mpozi ng'ewaka tubonaabona totulabirira totufaako biki biki bw'abanga naye tamuwa kunyamuganga buli kiro nga tamuwaako nga maybe tova olaba atambulire
anti kyekugambye nti oba tomanyi bigenda mu maaso so I won't involve myself in that.
But would you ask your mom
nti ki
nga bw'otegeera n'ogamba nkitegedde you're cheating on my dad but why like a constant obuyinza obutagenda neŋŋamba anerwakuba banange African moms omwana bwenagaala
nedakumanyira a couple was together for 8 years, both working at sea on the same ship for 8 to 11-week trips, bought the house and heading towards marriage, kids, etc. Start a 11-week trip and noticed something wasn't right. Girl had sex with another crew member on the trip and wanted to be with them. The guy had to watch the start of a new relationship while on a floating boat, and due to his qualification, he couldn't leave the ship. So me, I am that guy. From a colleague of mine in his mid-30s was living with his long-term girlfriend and they had been shopping for engagement things. He comes to work one day and early afternoon receives a text from her telling him she's seeing someone else. A former colleague of mine was in his mid-30s. He was living with his long-time girlfriend and they had been shopping for engagement rings. He comes to work one day and early afternoon he receives a text from her telling him she's seeing someone else. Has packed up the house and moved out to live with the other guy. There was no apology, no further explanations. She then immediately blocked him and left him to deal with the rent and other bills on his own. He was a nice guy. It was sad to see that happen to him. He's now happily married to someone else, of course. That's why he's happily married.
But also, if someone feels like they don't want to get married to you, it doesn't matter how long, but they dating for 5 years, over how many years. Abakuyambi osingako okutuuka mu maka, you get to have kids and everything, then akulekawo. Abakuyambi, the earlier the better.
My friend had a massive heart attack and having sex was hard for him for a while. He worked and his wife did. He fell asleep in the chair one morning while getting ready for work. He awoke to a man unlocking his door for about a year. He awoke to a man unlocking his door. For about a year while he was at work, his wife had different men with keys to the house coming over to have sex with her.
Wow.
Buli musajja wakuluma n'agenda ku mulimu nga waliwo ayingirawo ate tayingirawo mbu bamuyisa akyali wabula n'ekisomoza alina ekimuggulira
bebyani simanyi omukazi bw'agenda ku nyumba ajja mumukwanirayo mukwano ojja muleka ewaka ate kati abo oba nange oba okikoze na bulungi because I know you leave at 8 you come back at 5 naye mba nkimanyi ogenda kukola surprises biki oyinza okujja maybe around lunch time bwe mba manyi wakavawo ku lunch obviously manyi kiba togenda kukomawo like within 30 minutes or 1 hour so really ayagadde okuwaako era ako ne bukola oti
I was an IT contractor for the Department of Defense there. We got a keyword alert on an email conversation. Same folks involved. So we went and checked out the email, and the email read, turns out it was a senior chief who was talking to a nearly half a dozen of women under this chain of command that he was having affairs with, multiples of which were pregnant with his children. He of course was married, having 4 kids with his wife. What started out with a hi, you're not supposed to discuss that on regular email. Investigation turned into a massive scandal, wrecking multiple marriages, and turned into a whole lot of meetings with this very angry. Email. Nalabeka posting omwala agamba like when you tell your man to block, okay, bwe man nagwenda eti omusajja and I know maybe you and Shibrah bichi making out nemugamba you better block Shibrah bichi oh I'm going to leave if you don't block her omukazi nagamba omusajja we na blocking Shibrah but she later found out nti gayo bwenzi yabuuza ku email yafuna na account endala.
By the way, for such things, let someone decide because you cannot force someone. Njagala Florah blocking. Hacha mu blocking.
Nafuna avenues endala
but something else. Nere ko omuntu ye akyekolere ye ngomuntu nga tomugambye na mugamba kugamba omanyi from now on maybe I block this person. Out of respect or something yango nga tomukasebya yino girete njala mwe block.
My mom told me this story about one of my dad's old colleagues. She was an acquaintance of the wife. They'd been married for years. Old couple. He cheated on her with a 18-year-old. In a fit of rage, she bought a new car, new clothes, and threw a few numerous parties. When the anger passed, she became severely depressed and hung herself. He found her in the entrance of their house. They had kids too, but I think they were in the early 20s by then.
Man, obviously you are getting the heart differently and
but don't kill yourself because
naye go Florah took ekiseera n'owulira
I know auntie
ng'oya n'obulamu tokyalya probably the people you're living for you know like your kids your husband and everything you're like
but please don't kill yourself because
ama oba olaba kijja kukujjako kijja kukuziika
kubanga ogenda kwetaffe obulamu bwaffe busigale nga butambula. You know these things of manya haunting manya will come back and haunt you ng'olese later. Those things, okay, maybe they work
naye nze singa kyali kisoboka
singa twetadda kubanga abantu abatunyiziza
kyenkukola
paka kubulira bubi.
And also sometimes before you even get to cheat, if you have someone, you get to know about the consequences. Like omuntu gw'ocheatingako oba bw'aba kitegedde kinaamusuulawa kinaamuteekawa. You know, sometimes cheating, I think it's like a personal what? Happiness? I don't know.
When I was a police officer, a co-worker found his wife in bed with another police officer from the same district. Wife would tell the lover about husband's week schedule, and lover would have his changed in order to have sex with the wife while husband was working. Problem was one day, husband got dismissed 3 hours early and went back home without texting his wife first. He had done some suspects but could never imagine about another police officer. No shots were fired that day, luckily.
Siva mpozi nga sigirina
emondi omuta
nga mbasanze mu
kyobola nti gavumenti tewa buli omu muntu
era tubanze anyway sobola I'm just saying but olina kubawo n'omutima ogumanyi okwecontrollinga especially those guys who are used obviously senga ffe ne bwompa like a gun if you're not used to shooting you cannot nogitunulako mba mpulira nga kati bwenjetunuza munne nokola ki so naye jjukira those people abamu they've showed up abamu they've ever killed eyo mu ntalo biki so man era terwali lunaku lwokufa
had sex with his wife's niece in the bushes on a hike. Her husband caught them.
Want to have sex in a bush and see how it feels.
I know. Ex-boss. Ex-boss wife's niece.
Yebaka niece wa mukazi we.
In the bushes. Her husband caught them and they all got divorced.
Meaning then niece was also married.
Yes.
What a wow.
And they all got divorced. He ended up marrying his ex-wife's niece.
They did an exchange.
2 years later, yes. His now ex-wife and his new current wife are all the best of friends again. Movie.
Era movie yosituuse eyo. Naddala nga bba wange yankitingako olaba abagundi be nalaba they exchange their wives like ono yali yeebaka n'oli n'ono yeebaka ne be exchange. Naddala nga abasajja be bamu n'abakazi it is okay exchange so naye eyo ndaba movie sirina bwentyo okukwagala maama bwe mba sigirina sirina najje ndowooza mu mutwe.
Okay, so no, but darling, stories and singers but deserve a combo, and I think that's where cheating works, maybe because the really no boyfriend girlfriend you can't start saying they cheated on me because they did cheat with you.
Maybe obatanafuna na mtofu gwayagala.
Cheating with you,
and you think they are cheating on you. Maybe olowooza mboli side chick yet you're the side chick.
So guys, I'm going to have kuyimba. Tabula.
Kena bagambako nti tagala kuyimba. Bwejjo. Tabula endagala.
Kayimba.
Semani. Oluma. Naye kyogedde tabula endagala.
Mbambye kamanyi konzejje. Ekizike.
Kizike mpozi nakiwulirawo. Wa gravity one.
Simanyi gye wakiwulira.
Wabula simanyi.
Nange sikimanyi ekizike Joshi.
Yanda babisa.
Albawe. Kumacha.
Kumacha in the morning. I love cuddles in the morning.
Yaruzana.
Kumacha. Ndabanga sima homani.
Boli kumacha sana katonda. Nabuchiro. Awakume.
My Shazam is not Shazaming.
Mama bye.
Ate ng'otonayimba.
Ate nyimba ki?
Mukwano leeta wano.
Segment eweddeko.
Leeta yimba sha. Olw'okuba oyimbye akange. Amagwe teekako ayimbe.
Era bwe ngwa mumpa amatu ga Shibrah nzize nyimbye ebintu.
Ono naye lwakuba kuwa obwangu. Yimba. Nja kukaddiwa. Abla Josh. Secret.
Chama kyetwekumira.
Secret.
Secret.
Nga bwongambye morning Buganda kumakya. So si kyama. ate no badde onaatera
kale kannemye kayinde wala
ono galajjako ne morning saga simanya let the mama keep all wenya mumanyi bamukyazaako omutegedde ye bamuyitaani
Kenneth Mugabe
simanya let the mama nali
keep it under wraps kategedde
waliwo simanyi secret bikiiki something like that mbadde akawulira mu mutwe naye ngokka then omisinga
mpulira nkumisinga wesikulabye nkumisinga omutima gufurizinga
naye mwemwe wabya laavu nze kunze simanyi tabula simanyi simanyi era eddagala nkumisinga notomisinga nedda mukwano
omisinga sikamanyi kannemye kambuzi
akayimba kavaawa ka unknown
nswadde
ex bw'okyawangwa ye maama tewafuna alien skin kogwe unknown n'omwerabira maama n'ennyimba tokyajjukira naye nga yakulyakulimbira luli wali nobanga at least wandyerabidde olwabano baneno simanyi nja kukaduwa mukubirewo akayimba ka alien skin akapya mbaka kayita batya
Bye.